I actually don't know how to start this video. It's unusual. Usually I bounce in with, "What's up guys, it's Adam here, time to clash." But obviously this one isn't about time to clash or blame Adam, it's about me, and it's going to be a challenge. I don't share too much about me, even on stream, even if you've been watching my stream for hours and hours and hours. Like, I don't add too much in about my real life. I've always liked to keep it quite separate. And here I am doing the exact opposite. There's no doubt this is going to be one of the hardest videos I've ever done. I'm wanting to talk about me, and I'm also wanting to talk about my mistakes. So not only is it difficult to talk about me, I find it so easy to talk about computer games, about Clash of Clans, about structures, leagues, admins, attacks, strategies. It's so easy, it just rolls off the tongue. Talking about myself is considerably harder. I struggle with it on stream. Whenever I tell you guys a story about, like, even just a night out drinking or whatever, I can't do it very well. Like, I find it more difficult when I'm in the story. It's not natural for me. And that's because I'm an extremely private person, and I realise the irony of me being a private person and a streamer. Like, it was never thought about, it was never planned, it just happened. And I always wanted to keep my Clash life and my real life very separate. So why am I going completely against that now? And there's a few reasons. I guess one of them is, these last few days have been without a doubt the worst I've ever had on Clash. I think that's, it's given a lot of time for reflection to look at things. Also, I mean, there's things being sent out about my personal life, and I guess I'd rather just say it myself rather than let other people try and narrate it to me. I'd rather just say, lay it all out on the table. I think that's the best way to do it. And then I guess that leads me to the final reason, which is a lot of people are judging me at the minute. A lot of people are judging me not as a streamer, not as a clasher, but as a person. And I guess I'd rather you judge me for the truth. I guess you'd rather just judge me for exactly how it is. And I'm not going to hold back on this video. I'll call things exactly as they are, even things that don't make me look good, because there's plenty of them. And I think that the first thing I have to talk about is my relationship with CWL admins. It all started back in Season 1, and the real sort of trigger to it was the CWL admins wanting golden goblins in the league. I fought against it, and fought against it hard. It did and still does blow my mind. Like, it just goes against everything I believe in, everything I thought the league believed in. It was difficult for me to keep quiet about, and the point of this video is not to criticise the mistake, but it's to criticise the way I went about it. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I went too far. I don't know how, but I was very strong-willed with the admins, and the whole episode gave me a very low opinion of them, and a low opinion of what they were trying to achieve, and that is still in play today. Like, that has just driven on. And the admins will, some of them certainly will say that I've caused them a lot of distress in DM, and they're probably right. In fact, they are right. Not probably, they are right. I'm fierce when I believe in something. Especially when it's something that is relatively easy, when it could and should be better, in my opinion. I fight very hard for it, and I've no doubt that was difficult for some of the admins to deal with. And obviously, because this is about my mistakes, there's no doubt about it. There are times when I've overreacted to things. There are times where I've taken things further than I should. There are times where I've made it difficult for the people that I'm messaging or trying to improve things on. I think part of that is, it's not just the righteous side of me, but also I won't say a perfectionist, but I do like things to be good, and I am fiercely critical when they're not. And I don't want people to think that that's just admins. I'm fiercely critical of everything. When Arsenal lose, breaks me. I rip into them like crazy when, same with any sports team that I'm following, same with like when the government does something crazy. Like I am pretty critical, but I'm also very critical of myself, probably a lot more so than you guys realize. When I click that stop streaming button, if I know I've done a bad job, I want to rip my hair out. I get very, I don't know what the right word is. I won't say upset, but like I'm very damning on myself as well. When I've done a bad stream, or even just a bad part of a stream, or even just one bad war attack, one bad commentary, I'm as critical as I am on myself as I am on anybody else. I think that's the key here. I'm consistent, if that helps in any way. And obviously that's made it difficult with the admins. And obviously when they didn't respond in DMs, or when they did respond but didn't do anything about making things better, obviously I put videos out there to try and get sort of public opinion to make these things right. And I guess I'm okay with people hating me for DMing the admins. I guess I'm okay with people hating me for putting videos out there. And I'm aware that they didn't help the league. Like I'm not misguided on this. But I hope that people realise that never ever have I just messaged somebody to attack them. Never ever would I put a video out there just to hurt somebody else. Like it's always, there is a good intention in there. And again, at the end of this video, if you don't believe me, I'm kind of okay with that. Like I would rather you look at what it really is and then decide if you hate me. That's fine. I just don't want people to. For some reason it bothers me if people hate me for the wrong reason. And obviously on this video I'm not just going to talk about the admins, we are going to talk about even more personal things, and that is so difficult to do. Now you might say, well Adam, if you're such a perfectionist, how come like all parts of your life are not just amazing? And the truth is that when I'm bad at something I don't do it. So, for example, when I go to the gym, because there's a bunch of people there at the gym that are considerably fitter, stronger and everything else than me, I hate it. I really don't like it, and it's difficult for me. So I tend to focus on the things that I'm very good at. Not necessarily the best, but things that I'm good at. So when I played Clash, I wasn't the world's greatest attacker, but I did work very hard with base building, with helping other people, with plans, even with spotting. And I was good at that, so I focused on that. And then obviously as I moved more into media, I'm not a good farmer, and I'm not a good entertainer either in terms of streaming. What I'm good at is understanding the mathematics of war, the strategies on a clan level, and obviously the individual attacks, the war commentary. That's my strength, and so I play to it. And I think that one of my biggest mistakes, and it's not really relevant to this video, is the fact that I didn't try and get better at other sides of things. I watch people like Clipsy, and I'm overwhelmed at the entertainment value they had. Obviously Scarface is doing some great stuff as well. And it's like, even when they've got so little content, really, like they're just doing FCs, bad FCs, sorry Clips, but they are. And yet he makes it like it's the best thing ever, and I wish I'd have tried more of that. That is definitely something that, I wish I'd have gone more into. Now, just to be clear, this is not me retiring. It's not me not retiring either. I don't know what it is. It's just, I just wanted to get everything out there, and particularly with these next subjects, which I'm almost trying to avoid. So what are these next subjects? Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about the doxing, and by even talking about this, I have to go against a lot of my principles here, and also, in an ironic way, prove some of the things that the admins said are accurate, and that sucks. I'm not doing this to change bans or anything. Like, this is partly because I feel I owe it to some of the people that have supported me to be honest with them, and I think this is the easiest way to do it, just to put it out there, and also partly because, again, I want people to judge me on what's real. And so the docs, I've told everybody that it was about bases, and the reason I can't show you the email is because it's not about bases. I don't know what to call it. Online flirting, maybe, with Amy Nicole. Like, it was more than friendship, and obviously the email sent was an extension to that online flirting. Why wasn't it sent in Discord? Obviously, the file was too big, and that's the truth of it. And the email sent, my email address is basically something along the lines of I like to win at gmail.com. Like it's very much a gaming address, and it has absolutely no link to my name, and I'm probably going to have to prove that. I'm probably going to have to show that email to somebody to show that. And that sucks. Like, when I got to know Amy, at the very beginning, we both said, it's between us. It never ever goes to anybody else. And now it isn't. And I feel really, I don't know, even just talking about it doesn't sit well with me. And just to be clear, this is not me revealing things, because obviously these things have already been revealed in less direct ways, but I guess I can't lie about it. Like, it has to be said how it was. And to be clear as well, like, this isn't a one-way thing. It wasn't her sending me things because, it wasn't unsolicited, let's put it that way. I was very much involved with it, sort of thing. And I never sent anything back, as you can imagine. Like I said, my wanting to keep my privacy, my pictures, my life, my real name even separate, has always been a huge priority. And to this day, I don't know how to use that email address to find details about me. I honestly don't know. And I've spent an inordinate amount of time. I've had, I set up a clean computer on an internet connection I'd never used, and obviously there's no cookies, no search history, because obviously Google, even the cookies aren't on your computer, Google knows your IP address, knows what kind of thing, you know what I mean? I stripped all that back. I went through every possibility that I could, and I still don't know how it happened. Other people had that email address, bad people had that email address, and it's because it's back in the GroupMe days when people had to use email addresses. I mean, Caption Chat have had that email address and never found me off it. I still don't know. I don't think I'll ever know. And, pretty much as soon as she found what she found, I mean, she told me about it straight away, and it was just like a wow feeling. I felt so vulnerable. Like, I never wanted my real life and my Clash life to be mixed, and there in this DM was my real name, my Facebook picture, my Facebook account. It was difficult to reply, and it's still difficult to talk about now. And I had this person who, by this point, I knew wasn't a great person. And again, we're talking about my mistakes. Like, this was my, I carried it on. It's not like I backed out, it became more about fear. Like, I was scared that, if I upset her, then one day, she's going to put this stuff out there. And then the irony is that, we never did fall out, or not fall out in a serious way like that. But obviously, with her growing relationship with Scott Aurea, she, Scott wanted to hurt me. We were, I was growing on streaming at that point. He was growing on streaming at that point. And Scott wanted weapons, wanted tools. And once he found out that Amy had them, he got them from her. She sent them him. And just to be clear, she didn't send him the email address. The email address wouldn't have got him back to that, because by that point, obviously, I've changed picture. And just one last thing as well, the email address is in no way linked to the Facebook account. Like, it's very separate, completely separate. And, when that stuff got sent, and I said that this is about my mistakes, and it is, because my mistakes here is, I knew what Amy was like before she found some of these details, and maybe I didn't know quite how much, but I'm not innocent in this. Like, I'm not stupid. I know what people are like. You always say, one of the things that people say is that I'm too critical. I see the worst in everyone. So if I do, I must have seen this and still not done anything about it. And then, obviously, Scott didn't use it straight away. It was some time later that he sent it to other people, and then obviously they sent it on. And obviously by that point, obviously Amy had sent it to other people as well. Like, it, you know, it all escalated, and I tried not to talk about it. I was challenged on my server the other day about this, like, why have you not talked about it? And it was like, because I just wanted it to go away. I just didn't want it. I didn't want my picture ever out there. What people don't know is I went to Estonia, like, and I didn't want to go. Like, I've got to be careful here because of NDA and stuff, but in short, like, Supercell asked me to go, and I said no. Like, you know, it was my first reaction was no, then it was no, and then explaining to them why, you know what I mean? Like, it, and I did go in the end, so I'm not gonna, you know, and I don't regret it, but at the same time, it wasn't as clear cut as you think. Like, that's how much I valued my privacy. I just didn't ever want to be out there. Like, I can't put it any other way. And then, obviously, I then moved on to another personal relationship with LadyB, and she's beautiful. I mean, you've all seen her on stream. I mean, she's gorgeous, and more than that, like, she can be, like, from a gaming point of view, I mean, she's interesting, she's great looking, you know, and she's good at games. Like, I mean, she has so many good qualities. I'm not a good looking person. I will admit that. I'm not particularly a great person either. I was batting out of my league there with her, and, you know, I don't really know how. Like, I'm not even going to pretend. Like, it was all a bit crazy. And, like, from the second that, I mean, even as friends, I mean, it had already been said in DMs, you know, whatever happens, you know, we trust each other. We don't leak DMs to anybody about anything, even if we fall out. You know, we started telling each other honest things, mainly about Clash, but obviously, you know, as we spoke more, it became, you know, more about personal things as well. And it was at this point that she told me that she'd split up with her husband, and that's when it started to get, you know, more than friends. And again, some of you are immediately going to, like, lash out at me. It's like, I don't know, you know, you're revealing stuff here, and it's like, this stuff is already being sent around. You know, and it's from her. Like, everything I'm telling you in this video is being sent by other people as well, or being lied about by other people, sort of thing. So I'd rather just tell you it how it is. And then, like I said, I mean, none of this is me describing, and you'll see as it goes on, it's going to get even worse. None of this is me pretending to be an angel, because I'm not. Like, this is just, I guess, maybe for the first video ever, you know, you're talking to Adam here, like, this is not me trying to hype up a game or an attack or anything else. This is not me trying to improve your strategies or anything of that nature. Like, this is just me talking to you and telling you about a situation, and I can't describe to you how difficult this is. I would take making I'd make a witch video before I made this video. Like, that is how difficult this is for me. Like, talking about me and my mistakes and my personal feelings, and it's so not what I'm good at, so not what I feel comfortable with. And even as I'm doing this, like, I don't feel any better for doing it at all. Like, I'm dreading it, because at some point at the end of this video, I'm going to have to press stop recording, I'm going to have to render it, I'm going to have to upload it, and then in an hour and a half, 2 hours from now, maybe a little bit more, everybody else is going to listen to it, and I just feel like, I feel so vulnerable, so stripped back. It doesn't feel good. But I am going to carry on with it, because as me and LadyB got closer, like, obviously she was streaming as well with us, like, a lot of parts of my life all of a sudden were coming together and were very intertwined. So if a stream goes badly, it now affects the girl that I'm kind of, again, I don't know what to call these things, but like online seeing or whatever you want to call it. And it was weird. And one of my biggest mistakes is believing her about the fact that she'd split up with her husband. And obviously she streamed with him, and I would be asking her afterwards, I'm like, it doesn't look like you split up, he doesn't seem like you split up. And I don't even know if it's a case of her lying to me, or if it's just me wanting to believe that it was true. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was definitely a bit of both. And I I mean, you know, it is what it is. And again, I want to go back to the start here. Like, this isn't all hate and anger. Like, there's some very happy times. Like, she is an amazing person, and the real truth of it is me and her just don't fit together. Like, she can be anything that she wants to be. Like, she's determined, driven, obviously, like I said, great looking, charming. Like, you know, she really can sort of. Whereas some of us are kind of limited in what we can do, she's not. And I guess, you know, amongst other things, I found that very attractive about her. Now, obviously, at some point, and I can't remember exactly when, I did find out that, like, that she wasn't, you know, that she was still with the husband. And again, we're talking about my mistakes. It didn't stop me, and I have nothing, you know. It's wrong, and that's how it is. And then, to take it further, obviously she eventually came to visit England, and obviously we met up. And again, you know, I'm telling you this because she's already telling people this, and it really hurt. Let me just sort of skip forwards a little bit here. When we made agreements, like, it was always, we will never ever hurt each other, we'll never reveal things. Everything that, you know, we do is private. It's between me and her, which is obviously it's exactly how I like it. I like things to be private, to be, you know, I don't share DMs with people. You know, like, obviously you've seen these videos with screenshots. Almost every screenshot I've ever put on there is from a room, or it's from a DM that's already been leaked by somebody else, and, you know, I'm usually just putting it into context. Like, I believe people's personal DMs are private. I believe people's personal relationships should be private. Yeah, I'm going to be completely biased here. I believe my relationships should be private, and because of the position I've put myself in, they're not. And that's not me. I don't want sympathy for that. Like, I'm aware. I don't think that, you know, if a minor celebrity's thing, and, like, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not trying to say that. I know somebody will pick up on this, but, like, in terms of Clash, I have put myself out there as one of the more known people, and because of that, I'm under scrutiny in different ways, like, and things like my personal relationships are available to be analysed, attacked, challenged, or even used against me. And every time she sent something out, like, I can't describe to you how much it hurt me. Every time she sent a screenshot or told people about things that we agreed was private, and it wasn't just that, it was more than that. You know, because obviously I helped her so much with the streaming. I mean, when she started working with us, like, she was, you know, a very small streamer, and obviously by the time she finished streaming with us, you know, she was a partner. She'd been to Germany with Supercell. I'm not taking credit for that. I mean, she's extremely talented, but there's no doubt that obviously working with me helped her tremendously, and sort of really speeded up that growth. And, you know, we made agreements, like, you know, she always said, Adam, help me. And basically, in return, I will never stream over you. Even when I get bigger, and even when I get to the point where, you know, I'm off doing my own things, I'll never stream over you. You know, you do what you want. I'll work around you because, you know, you've helped me so much to get to that point. And equally, like, more than that, I guess, we also agreed that, you know, we'd never try and hurt each other professionally. Like, you know, like trying to get each other banned or hurt, or using our personal relationship to hurt professional relationships or professional setups or anything like that. And obviously, my personal relationships, my choices have put me into this situation, and that is my mistake. Like, I can't blame her for that. Like, I got myself into this. I ended up, you know, I could have kept Clash and relationships completely separate by not having them on Clash, and I didn't. And, you know, now that is, you know, part of the reason, I guess, of why I'm doing this is because, you know, that is now a huge part of what the CWL admins are doing to me. And obviously, to go back, obviously England happened, and England was, in theory, awesome. Like, you know what I mean? We had a really nice time. But there was so much, but it was clear that it couldn't carry on. Like, I didn't bring the best out of Lady B. I could make her very angry and also make her feel insecure. And because of that, we had some ferocious arguments. And I don't say this lightly. Like, any argument you think I've had with a CWL admin or anybody else on Clash, it doesn't even compare. Obviously, I stream quite loud from the apartment that I'm in, and my neighbours have never heard me, because I've checked with them. I've been like, am I making too much noise? Do I need to get some soundproofing or something? They're like, no, we've never heard you. The only time they've heard me is when I've been arguing with her, and it's like volcanoes going off. And I'm not, this is not me saying that it's her, it's both of us. Like, these are the kind of arguments that if you'd have heard from a different place, you'd be calling the police. Like, they were horrible. Things that were said, the threats that were made, like, they were insane. And like, obviously, it's going to get leaked about some of the Clash stuff. I know that it's going to get, be in there, that in arguments I shouted at her about Clash streaming and, streaming over me and stuff like that. And even threatening her, like, saying that if she's going to release details on me or release things that hurt me, I'm going to release things that hurt her and things. It's all true. I'm not hiding from it. In those arguments, and obviously when angry, because not just in the direct argument, but also when angry afterwards or even before, those things were said. And likewise, obviously, she said absolutely insane things to me, threatened me with all sorts, called me names that, like, I'm calling Mikey B out for calling me a paedophile once on Twitter. I mean, the things that she would call me, I've never experienced anything like it. And I can't hide from the fact that I reacted. I was every bit involved in it, and I guess I'm suffering for that now in a large way, because it's my personal relationships are ultimately going to have a massive impact on what I've been doing online. And it's weird. When you're in that moment, when even the good moments, like, or the bad moments, you never think, what are the consequences going to be in a few months' time? Like, is somebody going to use this relationship as a way to destroy somebody or something, or to create animosity, friction, or worse? Like, it's crazy. And there was some of you that'll be like, well, Adam, you did threaten her and things, and you deserve everything you get. That's fine. I agree. If I will sort of temper that and say, you've all been in raging arguments with friends, with family, with loved ones, even with Clash people. Like, it does happen, and you say a lot of things you regret. If anybody thinks that I don't regret, like, having those angry arguments and the things that have been said in them, I mean, just take a look out there. Can you see pictures of LadyB? Can you see videos of Amy Nicole? I mean, even screenshots and things, you don't see them from me of those personal relationships, because I just don't leak those details. Look how long it's taken me to even admit that any of this has even happened. And I'm only doing it now because other people are already putting that stuff out there, and I'd rather you have the truth rather than an edited version of it. I'm not a nasty person. Like, I don't hurt people on purpose. I know it happens. I know I can be callous. I know that sometimes in my cause to make something right, I can end up hurting people. Never ever do I set out to hurt somebody. It's not in my nature. And again, you've seen the proof, because there is none. Even after everything that some people have done to me, like, as I'll tell you in a second, this goes on. But like, even after Amy Nicole doxing me, I never even, like, got close to doing it back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even an option on the table. Like, and I could, there's no doubt about it, but it's just not the person that I am. Again, hate me for who I am, hate me for threatening, hate me for getting angry, hate me for overreacting, hate me for being a bad streamer, hate me for all those things. I'm okay with that. Like, that's all fine. But don't hate me for things that I have never done or would never do. Like, I guess that's kind of what I want from this. Like, if I'm going to put it all out on the table, I want you to look at everything on the table. I don't want people to, I don't know why it matters so much to me, but it does. I don't want people to hate me for things that aren't real. And obviously, to sort of go back to how this carried on, after she'd got back from England, we nothing was happening. I think, and again, I need to be careful what I'm saying here because I'm not sure how much of this she's revealed, but I think she made efforts to make things work with herself and her husband at that point. But I mean, that's not the reason. I'm lying here if I say that's the reason. The reason is that I couldn't cope with her. Like, she was too much for me. And again, I'm not saying that as an insult to her. I'm saying that it's more about my character. I just couldn't handle it. I brought the worst out of her. I made her, angry and insecure. I made her have these crazy arguments and DM me these insane things. And even before that, she was very negative about any other female that would come on my stream, any other female that would be around me. And obviously, I don't think it's any secret, but she had a very fractious relationship with LadyB. She attacked Kea Girl and Ziggy, who now don't even sort of play Clash anymore. She made comments about basically anybody that's involved in my stream setup, Evil Queen, even Amy Nicole. I mean, she absolutely hated Amy Nicole, and it was increasingly difficult. And obviously around that time, Susie Gaming got on board with our streaming setup, and that's where it went to the next level. And again, we're talking about my mistakes. This isn't about LadyB's mistakes. This is about me. I allowed probably the most horrible thing I've seen online, and that was basically that LadyB bullied Susie Gaming to the point where Susie Gaming wanted to quit. Now, Susie Gaming's not a drama queen. If she says she's quitting, she's quitting. And if you can't talk her out of it, she's gone. This was this was bullying taken to a huge level, and I'm the reason that happened. I didn't stop it. I kept saying to Susie, don't worry about it. It'll get better. LadyB will calm down. It'll be fine. You stream with. I want you to stream with us. It's not fair that you get bullied out of this setup, out of what we're doing. It's not right. And obviously this was all, obviously LadyB had stopped me from doing the CWL Olympic stream. Further sort of impairing my relationships with, further damaging my relationships with the admins. LadyB was very clear to tell me that, if I had any respect for her, because they'd screwed her over on the Olympic stream, and it was she was right, they had screwed her over. But obviously I didn't do the Olympic stream because she told me not to. And, with her bullying Susie, and it was really weird. She'd sent me so many horrible things into my DM, and I could just about handle that. It was so wrong. Again, it wasn't right. But then when I saw her do it to somebody else, when I saw her actually attack somebody else so ferociously, so viciously, and I did nothing. And I'm amazed that Susie Game still talks to me. I'm amazed that she still plays the game with what happened. I'm not sure I would have. And I'm the reason for that, because I'm saying to Susie, please will you try and handle it? Please will you try and work with it? And I don't know. To this day, I don't know what I could have done, but I definitely should have done something, and I didn't. And I hope that neither Amy nor LadyB will get mad at me for saying this, but myself, I'm not a great person. I make a lot of mistakes. I do things that could be perceived as bad, as this video is showing. I guess what I'm saying is I can take it because I give it. Maybe that's the best way to put it. And I think that both Amy and LadyB are in that same boat where they also do bad things. They get bad things done to them as well. It's not a one-way thing. But with Susie, it was really different because she's not a bad person. She's not done anything bad to anybody that I know of. And here I am, and she's suffering because of my personal relationship with LadyB. And even to this day, I can't apologise to her enough about it. Like I said, she wanted to quit. She really wanted to quit. And I've pretty much begged her to stay on Clash to get attacked in that way. Like, for some reason it's so much worse with her because she's a good person, and as well to a lesser extent, Clash Cup as well, because obviously I do a lot of work there with Wuxia. LadyB fired into Wuxia as well, like horrible, personal, aggressive, angry, and I woke up one morning, I've got a DM from Wuxia, Adam, I'm quitting Clash Cup, I don't want anybody near it, I can't be an admin with what LadyB's doing, and I put her in that situation. Like, that's my fault. My personal relationships have caused all of this. And I guess I just wanted to put it out there so you all knew exactly why these things are how they are. It also means that I've not told some truths. I've staunchly denied the fact that anything happened with me and LadyB. I valued that agreement that we had so long ago that, it was a personal relationship. It's not anybody else's business, it's ours. We both always deny it because it's nothing to do with anybody else. And obviously, now I'm going against that. But again, I do want to say that everything that I've told you on this video is already being sent out by other people. Like, it's not there's nothing. It might be news to you. You might not have heard it yet, but it is being spread around, and it's brutal. It really is. I'm hoping to conclude this soon before I bore you anymore, but I guess you know a lot more about me as a person. Like, I've made these huge mistakes on Clash, particularly with personal relationships, and also, like I said, with pushing for the league to be better and attacking those that, in my opinion, don't do enough to make it better. All these things are now, it's like chickens coming home to roost. What are the expressions? Planting seeds and stuff like that. Like, it's all coming back to get me now, and maybe I deserve it. Like, I'm at the point now where I accept it. I've read quite a bit in leader chat, and people are defending the fact that it's all been done so wrong, and it has. Like, there's no getting away from that. Like, what the admins have done is power abuse. It's disgusting what they've done. But maybe two wrongs do make a right in this case. Maybe I've done enough that warrants it. Maybe, and I don't think, because obviously it's nothing to do with the admins anymore. I don't speak to the admins anymore. This is solely based on the fact that I'm angry, because CWL Media is run by somebody untrustworthy. But it's somebody untrustworthy that I've had a personal relationship with. Like, how can I criticise? And equally, obviously, LadyB, who's also now some sort of media coordinator. I can't remember what the titles are. Like, she's telling the admins what a horrible person I am, and how can I fight that? Like, I am that horrible person. I did get involved in those personal arguments with her. I did have ferocious stuff, like I said, threats and anger and name calling, horrible name. I'm not talking like you bitch or something like that. I'm talking about words that you would cover an adult's ears. Like, some of the stuff that was said is just, it's disgusting. It really is. And yeah. So I'm going to finish this off by saying I'm really sorry to any of my clans that feel let down by this. I'm going to say sorry to any of the viewers or any of the people that have supported me that feel let down by this. Like, my personal relationships have definitely destroyed, and this isn't my stream. This isn't my Time to Clash is not just me. Blame Adam's not just me. It's a community. It's a build up. Every success we had was as a team, as a group, and every single one of you that that wanted to be a part of it. And I'm not just talking about subscribers, just even viewers, followers, supporters, just anybody who was in any way sort of positively either affected or impacted or had a positive influence on the brand. This has affected all of you, and people say, what do you really regret? That I really regret that all of this is a hurting part of you, and it's because of me. I don't really have any words for it. I am genuinely quite, I don't know what to say. Sorry just doesn't seem to cut it, but that is really the only word that I'm coming out with. I don't know what happens next. I don't know, do I try and stream on from Clash and learn from this? Do I go to other games and try and learn from that? Do I just stop media altogether and just put this down as an experience and move on into something else? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's all laid out for you. And like I said, I'm not going to fight the admins anymore, because the only way that this goes from here is that LadyB particularly, or one of the others, will post a ton of bad things about me, and then I'll post a ton of bad things about them, and we'll all end up looking absolutely awful. And I just don't want to go that way. So if any of the leaders are standing up against what the admins are doing, based on the fact that it's wrong how they've done it, that, you know, obviously personal relationships, things like that shouldn't decide CWL bans or anything like that, that's fine, but don't do it on my behalf. Like, obviously this video has shown I've done plenty wrong, and like I said, maybe 2 wrongs do make a right in this case. Whatever it is, I'm not sure. I feel like you can hate me now and hate me for the right reasons. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but that's how it is. It's all out there. I genuinely don't know what my next video will be, if there is a next video. I just don't know anything anymore. I had such big plans coming into this new year. I really wanted to get playing again. I was going to reach out to 2, even 3 of the clans that I was involved with, and get involved in as many random spins as I could. Maybe I could convince one of them that I could play well enough to get onto a war spin or a Supercell Clan War League spin, and obviously take you on the journey with me with the videos. Try and do more strategy, more me strategy, more clan strategy. I had lots of big ideas. Now none of it's clear, and like I said, obviously lots of reflecting here, and I've made huge mistakes. So what do I say other than that I'm sorry? I'm sorry to LadyB that I couldn't be the person she needed me to be. I'm particularly sorry to Susie Gaming for what she had to suffer because of this. I'm sorry to Clash Playhouse as well. Never even messaged him and said that. I'm probably going to have to after this video. He also was very much attacked by LadyB and told that he wasn't allowed to talk to me or stream with me or be anywhere near me. And you know, it sucks that he got attacked because of my personal relationships. Sucks to any clans that I'm involved with that have suffered for this, that have put their faith in me, and this is what I've done. And particularly obviously to any friends sort of thing as well. Like, I've never told any of you about any of this. So it's not a joke about my privacy. I really do like to keep things to myself. My real life friends know even less about this than people from Clash friends. It is what it is, and like I said, it's all out there for you. Lots of regrets, lots of mistakes, lots of reflection. So to finish this, rather than saying it's been Adam with Time to Clash, saying it's blame Adam, or even saying it's one of the clans, it hasn't. This has just been Adam, just talking to you. Thank you for listening.